Hello, everyone. My name is Salah Al-Majid. I'm an academic within School of Computer Science, and also I'm an engineer in profession. So I've tried to address a few key issues around STEM in higher education through that kind of engineering thinking, especially the system approach. And hopefully we will see how system approach pedagogy can be useful. A quick sharing with you through the abstract, and indeed that we all have been into this era of 2 years of darkness around the COVID outbreak, and especially within the universities, in and out, opening and reopening and closure, and all of this kind of um, activities. Well, a lot of innovative kind of approach being there as well into keeping the core business and delivering what we need to deliver to give a good education to our students, thinking widely around that. So digital learning moved, of course, from e-learning into being very much essential to deliver what we could have done in that era, and we were still doing it, and we try to make it as optimized as possible. Keep in mind the quality assurance agencies, accreditors, as well as validators, and they're keen to have the outlines, the learning outcomes, as well as the students who graduate are the main parameters to measure the successful. With that in mind, of course, students' experience have been struggling a little bit, too much maybe, as well as the value of money for the provided courses also as an issue. From that perspective in system thinking, I have a very nice publications around system complexity and system space, and I found that can be reflected very nicely into the higher education system, and how many of those parameters, any change of these parameters within the higher education systems can impact and has a lot of impact, in fact, on other ones and into the system. So we'll go through these and try to see how those can be addressed again from that kind of complexity space into measuring these parameters from a dynamical complex system into a structural one into chaotic systems. I will share with you strategic perspective for uh, strategic perspective for any university going through the goal and attribute of a graduating student, HE system complicity, how it look like, and then the challenge in a balanced system curriculum, and then toward the end, the system approach, we could share it with you as a proposal. So from a very kind of broad system, university strategy thinking, I've been working in different universities and at different levels, and within that, we've been working always into main goals. Aim is that is to have a future perspective, a good a flag in knowledge, research, and really in a creative approach in delivering a better graduate and dynamic engagement with the staff. So graduate outcome are always a key in what we in every university's strategy. And definitely are many principles. I've choose 5 of those, and 4 are very nice, colorful ones. Teaching excellence and graduate students experience it. One of the main principles in any strategy you can see. Graduate success, strong partnership, and employer engagement, and indeed dynamic engaged people. So within in that institute, I just left the research with impact a little bit away from now, but within that you can see this color also coded resilience and sustainability related to dynamic engaged people. You can see enabling technology is one of those needed to have teaching excellence and great students experience, and that's been reflected very um, strongly through that period of pandemic. Teaching spaces, of course, I'm talking about spaces not only a classroom empty with the tables, but also from STEM perspective, you talk about labs and different labs and hands-on and so on. The one I would like to share with you and focus with you on is a new vision, um, for education. And that's how that linked to the graduate success. And of course, the core of that is the curriculum and the space around the curriculum, the conversions into projects to help develop leaderships and team working and all of these keywords. But that will never happen without enabling technology and of course the correlation with the teaching space.
1 minute,
that
Salah.
all right, thank you. And the alignment with this, of course, through the program and how that can be demonstrated into it. Quick with a complexity, I can see the HE system complex has 3 parameters in there: the students, faculty, and HE institutions. And with focus on HE institutions, I can see their lack of experience with the similar situations that we have had. We never had similar to that. Um, have not have a sufficient mature education system or difficult in a scale up, and those really can be seen around uncertainty, ambiguity, and volatility, and that's where is the system and how much it's complex. Another parameters I would share with you is the curriculum design, and how the educational environment through STEM ones challenged us in over the last 2 years, and how it will be challenging us over next period, because we have this blended or online or hands-on in practice delivering these curriculum. STEM framework, teaching and learning framework from engineering or computer science perspective, has a lot of elements in there. Curriculum, of course, strategic pedagogy. It's a one of those who have been looking at as an online in addition to the environment, but also that can be as a system, as a matrix to map it and match it with where we're going into that. So curriculum has a lot of pressure from a knowledge, skills, and attributes, and to present a lot of key parameters around disciplinarity, design, theory, and practice, communication skills, and all of that, which might contribute and always going to have one of those, if not all, graduate attribute competencies and so on. So what we've been thinking in that is to have multi-approach into that and multi-points in around normal and extra a little bit alignment critical matrix. I would say it could be one of those approach you may have. So what we have been looking and what we found that digital learning, of course, not online learning. Digital learning is more than that. And with a system approach, we can focus only on, for now, the main issues around students' engagement, students' experience and skills, and to prove that our degree is a degree value of money. Hence, we think it's a strategy and curriculum alignment with the national intent via graduate attribute and competency model should be in there, seeking broad balance alignment. That would be also a key parameters, ensure that teaching, learning, assessment align programs in there, and of course the monitoring and keep monitoring things. That's what I want to share with you today. But before we finish in that, I found UNESCO has came up with a lovely a frame for the day after pandemic. Is to continue what we're doing. Of course, we're doing it great, but also we need to plan support and reopen always with thinking in redesign what we deliver and how we deliver, recover a lot of activities in a way can provide a better outcome, graduate outcome, which is the ultimate goal of any university. And indeed, with that in mind, we're going to go with a lot of restructuring in how we are going to deliver through a system approach. I'm being very fast and running in time, and I thank you so much for being with me. Thank you.
Thank you. That was really interesting. A very different perspective on pedagogy. Have we got any questions from anyone? Oh, I can see myself. Have we got any questions from anyone? But if I can start the ball rolling, if I may. So how are you actually implementing this within your teaching at the moment?
Well, it is challenging, Emma. What we have done, we will look at addressing, I would say, reverse engineering in there, considering all of these parameters as a complex systems and try to tune what's impact the graduate outcome all the way and go backward into that. So tuning, for example, if I'm gonna replace a module, replace a lab with a simulator from hands-on, how much that will impact on the key skills. We could argue that, okay, the theory can be delivered online. It might be yes, and we have a lot of good discussion around the online engagement, but that's another parameters or another um, issues with the complexity within that system. So reverse engineering through that system approach was very much useful into finding the right element to adjust to be delivered, whether online or through digital learning, and those who are going to be delivered in person in a place like a normal workshops or lab.